Okay, we're going to go ahead and do our second example for factoring with the box method. Go ahead to number 11 right here. I see my quadratic here. I'm going to quickly check to see if there's a greatest common factor. 3, 8, and 4 do not have a common factor. 3 is prime, so there is not a common factor here. I'm going to go ahead and go straight to the box. Okay, box right here. Didn't have one already put in for us, so I'm going to draw one. Easiest parts. The first term goes in the top left box, and then the last term goes into the bottom right box. Now we have to figure out what goes into these two boxes. We have to split this -8 into these two boxes somehow. What we're going to do is multiply A times C. And we'll put that here. So 4 times 3 is 12. Now we're going to take that 12 over to the side, and we're going to factor that out. So we start with 1. So 1 times 12. Then we look over here and we're going to go to 2. 2 is a factor of 12. 2 times 6. 3 goes into 12. 3 times 4. Okay, now they've started repeating. So what we're going to do is we're going to add these up. So add those up and see what they get us. 1 plus 12 is 13, 2 plus 6 is 8, 3 plus 4 is 7. Now, I do not see... Okay, now when we're looking for this B value, which is -8, I don't see that in here. This is not -8, this is +8. If I put +2 and +6x in here, it will not work, it will not be the right one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to factor, but I'm going to go with negative numbers. -1 times -12, -2 times -6, and then -3 times -4. Those will all equal, are all factors of 12. Go ahead and add these up. -13, -8, and -7. I now see that what I was looking for was -2x and -6x. Those are the factors I was looking for in this case. So if you can't find them, please go try to do the negatives. You can see that this was 8 and recognize that -2 and -6 is a are factors of 12, and do it that way. It's also, if you just want to write it out so you see it, you could have written -2 and -6 and seen that they had -8 as well. Okay, now that I have all my boxes filled, I'm going to take my very first one and I'm going to do the GCF up through here. -2 and 3 have nothing in common, which means that it's just going to be this x. X and x squared have an x in common. Now that I've done the GCF there, I'm going to figure out what I need to multiply. Do not do GCF all the way through. It works most of the time, but there are some examples I'll get to in hopefully the next video where that does not exactly work. Now, I am going to see what I need to multiply here. This one needs to be 3x. 3x times x is x squared. This needs to be -2. -2 times x is -2x. This should be -2. -2 times 3 is my -6. Check it at the very end to make sure we're on the right track. -2 times -2 is definitely +4. So my factors for this are 3x minus 2 and x minus 2. There is my solution there, my factored form.